Okay, let's jump right into this. Imagine starting a habit where you invest just 1,000 taka every single month into a safe vehicle that yields, say, a 7 to 10% annualized return. The math here is absolutely wild. Over 20 years, that tiny little monthly habit, it grows into 7 lakh. Over 30 years, you're looking at 22 lakh. And if you literally just let it sit there and compound over 40 years, it explodes into 63 lakh. Now, most of us never plan our lives with this kind of precision, right? We kind of just wing it and assume things will fall into place. But this perfectly illustrates the immense compounding cost of not having a plan, because honestly, by the time we realize we actually need one, it's usually way too late.
So, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are tackling a concept that is basically the ultimate solution to that overwhelming, chaotic feeling of having no structured plan. It's something called life mapping. We're going to take the entirety of a human life, starting from your school days all the way into your 80s, and break it down into a deeply structured, strategic roadmap. And look, this isn't just about money. We're talking about your skills, building a real legacy, and finding genuine fulfillment along the way. To do this, we'll be traveling through 4 distinct phases on this map. Phase 1 is exploration, Phase 2 is acceleration, Phase 3 is legacy, and Phase 4 is wisdom. Let's start right at the beginning. Phase 1, exploration. This covers your teenage years. When you're in middle school or college, everything is so dramatic. A bad breakup or bombing a single quiz feels like the absolute end of the world. But the reality? Your primary goal at this age is actually just enjoyment. You've got to reframe this time as a low-pressure laboratory for your life. The golden rule here is simple: enjoyment without long-term harm. So, staying up until 2 a.m. playing cricket? Totally fine. Engaging in highly destructive behaviors or extreme vices? Definitely not. And when it comes to academics, you don't actually need to be the absolute top of your class to succeed in life. You just shouldn't be dropping below the bottom 50%. Maintain that solid baseline, stay curious, and just enjoy your youth without the heavy burden of financial pressure. Now, while you're enjoying this phase, it's actually the perfect time to start tinkering with side hustles. But we need to draw a massive line here between exploring your passions and falling into a toxic money obsession. The perfect side hustle for a teenager is, testing out an AI YouTube channel, starting a random blog, or messing around with Google Ads. It's an experiment. But a huge trap is when one of these little projects actually starts making a few bucks and you suddenly drop everything else, your studies, hanging out with friends, exploring other hobbies, just to chase those dollars. Please do not get addicted to early income at the cost of broader exploration. At this stage, you are searching for your passion, not your pension.
Okay, moving on to Phase 2, acceleration. Welcome to your 20s.
There is this massive misconception out there that your university alone is going to teach you the real-world skills you need to build an actual career. Spoiler alert, they usually don't. The tone of your life shifts dramatically here toward rigorous discipline. You have to take matters into your own hands. And the ultimate cheat code today is leveraging AI to build a custom study plan. It goes like this. Pick one specific in-demand skill. Then go to ChatGPT, Gemini, or Grok and tell it to act as an expert and build you a 6 to 8 month curriculum. Crucially, tell the AI you only want free resources, because trust me, the internet is overflowing with them. From there, your only job is to follow that plan rigorously alongside your classes. Absolutely no excuses about a lack of time. Once you've locked down that skill, here's the exact actionable progression. Let's say the skill you picked was video editing. You don't just learn it and then go get some random, unrelated job in generic digital marketing. You have to stay aligned. Step 1, learn the video editing. Step 2, use that exact skill to secure a remote job or start freelancing, ideally before university even ends. Step 3, eventually build your own business around that very same skill. It's this laser-focused continuity that builds actual, unstoppable momentum. And that momentum is critical for one very specific reason. Research shows that 75% of your total career growth happens in your first 10 years in the workforce. 75%. Because of this, you really shouldn't spend your early 20s hiding in some slow, highly structured corporate job. You want to spend about 5 to 7 years in highly dynamic, firefighting startup environments. You want a role where everything is just a little bit chaotic, where completely new problems pop up every single day, and where you are forced to figure out unique solutions on the fly. That kind of crucible, it's going to accelerate your growth faster than literally anything else. Now, during this acceleration phase, there is an optional but highly recommended strategy: getting a master's degree abroad. But listen,
You aren't doing this just to get another piece of paper to hang on your wall. The true value here is the unmatched international exposure. Actually seeing the world broadens your mental horizons in ways that staying in your hometown simply cannot. Plus, it often opens the door to acquiring a second passport, which is an incredibly powerful asset for global mobility. Just make sure the master's you choose is directly aligned with that core skill you've been working so hard to build.
Next up, Phase 3, Legacy. We are now entering your 30s to 50s.
By the time you hit your 30s, the game totally changes. You're no longer just hustling to trade your time for money. The whole scope of your life elevates. There's this beautiful old philosophical concept that suggests a person should complete 3 legacy tasks during their midlife: plant a tree, write a book, and have a child. Why those 3 things? Because all of them will outlive you. In this phase, your main goal is maximizing your personal output and building things that are going to remain long after you're gone. You've got the experience now, you have the funding, and you have the network. This is the exact time to leave your permanent mark on the world.
For a lot of people, building that legacy means finally making the jump from employee to entrepreneur. But pay close attention to what we are not suggesting here. We are definitely not telling you to dramatically quit your safe, salary job on a Tuesday to blindly chase a dream. Don't do that. The smartest strategy is to start your business alongside your full-time job. Use the savings you've accumulated to fund it. Endure those late nights and working weekends. You only actually hand in your resignation letter when your new business income consistently matches or ideally doubles your secure job salary.
And as you push incredibly hard to maximize your output, you've got to play by these midlife business rules. First up, absolutely avoid get-rich-quick schemes. I promise you, there is no secret magic formula to double your money in 21 days from some random guy on the internet. It's a trap. Second, and this is so crucial, do not sacrifice your health. There is 0 point in working relentlessly to build an absolute empire if you just end up suffering a massive heart attack at age 60. What's the point? And third, start taking your retirement planning very seriously. This is a high-stakes phase, and balancing your relentless drive with self-preservation is the key to surviving it. Finally, we arrive at Phase 4, Wisdom. Your 50s well into your 80s. In this final phase, the pacing of your life slows down beautifully. The goal completely shifts. You're no longer working to stack up financial gains, you're working purely for personal enjoyment and to give back. There's this really profound cultural concept known as hawk. It essentially translates to a philosophical debt, or a right that other people have over you. Think about it like this. Even the childhood ice cream vendor who stood out there in the boiling hot sun to serve you decades ago, he holds a fraction of this hawk over you. Your later years are dedicated to honoring these unseen, beautiful debts to your community. So how do you actually repay those debts? Well, a lot of people think they need to engage in some grand institutional charity, funding a massive building or starting a giant organization. But the ultimate wisdom you realize at this age is that one-on-one, personal help provides far more joy. Directly intervening in a single person's life, sharing your specific, hard-earned wisdom, and actually seeing the emotional impact face-to-face, that is deeply fulfilling. Repaying your life's debts on a personal, deeply human level is the true reward of a life that's been well-mapped. So, we have walked through the entire roadmap. From the fun, low-pressure exploration of your youth, to the rigorous skill building of your 20s, the legacy creation of your midlife, all the way to the quiet wisdom of your later years. I want to leave you with this to think about. Which phase of the life map are you sitting in right now? And more importantly, now that you know the structured path ahead, what is the single immediate next step you are going to take today? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I highly encourage you to start drawing out your own map right now. You've got this.